A cake with candles, and you had to blow out the candles and sing happy birthday, and usually a few presents, and that was typical Christmas tree, and a typical Christmas with a Christmas tree and presents around the Christmas tree, and get up in the morning, open the presents, and I know I was pretty sneaky sometimes before Christmas, and I remember one time I opened this box because I knew it was a model airplane, and it was going to be a U-control plane, you know. And I opened it very carefully, unwrapped it, and looked at it. And, oh, this is really great. I wrapped it all back up. The problem was when you open it up on Christmas Day, you have to act surprised, and that's kind of hard, you know. We'd already seen it. My grandpa Renfro.
Grandpa Renfro.
He was born in 1891.
Grandma East too.
Oh yeah, Grandma East was about the same age. Yeah. Last name was East. Yes, she was my Grandma Solesbee's mother.
Grandpa Renfro, Grandma East.
I remember Grandma East was a very stern lady. She was very thin, and I remember she was real strict. Well, you had to toe the line with Grandma East, because she'd get all over you if you didn't. She lived with my grandmother Solesbee because her father had died, or her husband had died when they'd only been married a few years. She said he got pneumonia and died. So she lived the rest of her life as a widow.
Wow. How about Grandpa Renfro, was it?
Grandpa Renfro was quite a man. He was like a pioneer. He lived in the mountains above Eugene, Oregon. He built his own sawmill, built his own tractor, built it out of old Dodge trucks, and he built the sawmill, cut his own timber, cut his own wood, built a log cabin, and I'd go up there and spend the summers with him up in the mountains. We were driving his old, he had a Dodge truck also that he drove, and this hill was so steep going up to his place, someplace hard to even get up there. It was very bumpy and bouncing along. I loved it. Thought it was really great. And he had 22 rifles up there, and he let me use the 22 rifle. I'd go into town with him on Saturday and buy 22 shells. And I'd go out in the forest and shoot around at things, you know. I hate to say what I shot at, but, you know. I got to be a really good shot with that 22 rifle. It was a single shot. In fact, he gave it to me later on, so I still got it. Surname? Well, the latest that I found is that it probably came from England. And mostly from England. There's a little bit from the Netherlands and some from Germany, most of the Eastern or Western European countries. Sowerby is the name that we've traced it back to. So Sowerby, then it was Solesbee, and then Solesbee, and there's all different variations of it. I found 20 different variations of the name. Solesbee, Solesbee, Sowerby. The thing is, the reason the name got changed is because when they came to this country, they couldn't read or write, and they signed with an X. So when the census taker came around and said, "What's your name, boy?" He said, "Well, my name is Solesbee." "Oh yeah, how do you spell it?" "I don't know." So the assessor would just, or the census taker would just write it however he thought it was, or spell however he thought it was spelled, and that's why it's spelled so many different ways.
We'll see if you got one.
Well, yeah, candied yams. And one that wasn't passed down was one I really liked, and that was a banana cream pudding. I really liked that too. But Martha hasn't made much banana cream pudding. Well, we all seem to kind of look sort of alike. I hate to say big nose, but you know, we've all been pretty good at, you know, working with our hands and doing physical things like that. I know I got pretty good building model airplanes and cutting out those little tiny parts, you know, with X-Acto knives, and so I got pretty good at things like that. I was in my dorm at BYU, in dorm D1, and I was looking down at the piano room, which was a room where they practiced piano, and I saw this girl down there that had long blonde hair, and she just looked really good. And I go, wow, that is neat. So I don't want to go down there by myself. It seemed too obvious. So I gathered a bunch of guys, and I said, hey, let's go down there and harass this girl. So we went down there and went to the piano room, and I think we asked her to sing the song or something, and she, Anyway, while the guys are harassing her, I went around the other side, or she was sitting at the piano. I went around the other side and I started going through her books. And I found her room number and phone number and her name. And then when I went back to the room, I called her up. And she didn't know who I was. I said, well, I'm the guy that was, well, she didn't know who I was. Anyway, got a date with her, and that's how it all started.
Okay.
Oh, you want to know that?
Well,
What do we do on dates? We went to school functions, dances, and we went to movies when we could afford it. Rode around in my car.
Which was what at the time?
It was a 52 Mercury. It was all nose and decked and customized and had tuck and roll upholstery in it, and black and white. Martha really liked it. In fact, when she'd ride home, all she'd talk about was her car, or my car, not me. I was very sneaky about that because I didn't want to propose and have her say no. So I thought I'd check her out first, So I had this little tune I'd whistle. And she'd say, what is that? I say, well, what do you think? She says, well, I hope it's not what I think it is. So I'd let her, think about that for a while, because really what it meant was, Martha, will you marry me? Finally, I did ask her, come right out and say it, but I kind of knew what the answer was going to be. I didn't? Oh, I thought I did. Oh, that's right. I just slid a ring on her finger. That's right. I wasn't going to give her a chance to say no. I slid the ring on her finger, and that's it, baby. Now you're mine. 9 months.
And then 3 months separate. And
We dated 9 months, and then I didn't see her again for 3 months, and then we got together and got married. It's like marrying a stranger. Got married in 1956, September 4th, 1956, in the Los Angeles Temple, which was a brand new temple at the time. They just opened it. Oh, the wedding day. The day, not the night. Well, I remember the temple and going through and sitting across the altar from Martha and doing our vows. And I remember the reception afterwards, which was at a place called Capilla de San Antonio in Anaheim. Oh, my spouse. How can I describe my spouse? I can't even hardly describe my spouse in words. I mean, she is so great. She just, she's the girl of my dreams. And she's always been real loving and fair, and I don't think I've never heard her speak a word in anger. Oh, you got me going there. I admire how she loves me unconditionally.